Hi, my name is Steve Schwetz, and I'm the managing broker for Mesa Properties. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about the deposit disposition. You may be watching this video because one of your property managers who works for Mesa is sending it to you to just educate you on the ins and outs of the disposition, or maybe you found this on YouTube and you think it's a great resource. Like it if you can, I'd appreciate that. But besides that, in California, there are a lot of specific rules, and you have to be very careful in how you handle a tenant's deposit after they move out. First thing I want to talk about is you're on a tight clock. You've got a 21-day clock, 21 days for which to either spend the tenant's deposit on rehab or give them a refund, and either way, give them a detailed expense breakdown of how you spent that deposit. So that's the first thing. If you go beyond 21 days, even if they left owing a balance, even if they thrashed the heck out of the property, you still, after 21 days, if you haven't done that deposit disposition, guess what? They can take you to court and demand that you give them not only the entire deposit back because you missed the 21-day window, but also up to 3 times the amount of the rent. So you got a $1,200 deposit, do the math, it can get very expensive to miss that 21-day window. So enough said on that. Second thing is you need to document and be reasonable in your expenses and repairs. If you're doing it yourself, you need to figure out what you're going to charge for your time and labor. If you're going to have a vendor do it, now Mesa handles all of this stuff for our owners, but if you're going to do it yourself, you need to have the vendor's contact information and the vendor's invoice submitted to the tenant along with the deposit disposition, how you spent that money. The third thing I want to talk about is something that we have. It doesn't happen a lot, but some owners really come at the deposit disposition as, I'm just going to take this tenant's entire deposit, regardless of what kind of tenant they are, and I'm going to get very aggressive in what I feel is normal wear and tear. And frankly, you cannot do that. And if you do that, you are exposing yourself to the potential of getting hauled back into a small claims court. And judges are very tenant favorable in the state of California. So we don't bend over backwards and give away everything to a tenant, but we try to be very fair in terms of what is considered normal wear and tear. Let me give you some examples. If a tenant moves into a property and that carpet is, let's say, 6 years old and they live there for a year, and you have to replace the carpet when they move out, guess what? You can't charge them for that tenant, for that carpet being damaged if you're replacing it, because they moved in after the end of its useful life. And there's no cut and dry time period for what useful life is, but there are some general guidelines. You can find them on the web. California has a big booklet that they put together, and there's generally normal wear and tear, life expectancy on carpet and paint. Those are the biggest things. The other thing is trying to upgrade your property, basically using the tenant's deposit, which I've already talked about a little bit. But we've had owners where we had a guy who had a jacuzzi in his backyard. It was old and barely working when they moved in. Old redwood steps that were basically rotting, and in the course of a year they rotted some more. Big surprise. Well, the owner took pictures of the rotted steps and then wanted to charge the tenant 100% for those broken steps, and then not even replace the steps, just charge him for it as a way to take his deposit. You can't do that. If you are an owner with Mesa Properties, please don't ask us to do that, because that's just going to mean that you and one of my property managers are going to have to go to court and defend it, and it's indefensible. So hopefully those are some just helpful pointers on handling the tenant disposition. I know it was more of a negative video, but really it is a period of time where you need to be on your game, making sure that you handle things fairly and on a timely basis. If you'd rather not handle it and you want somebody else, I know a really good company, Mesa Properties. We'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it.